Hi, my name's Allison Isidore, and today we're going to talk about putting closed captions or subtitles on your Premiere Pro videos in the editing process. Let's get into it. So, say you don't have a captioning service like Rev.com, where you pay for someone to caption your videos and sometimes even transcribe them. Premiere Pro allows you to go in the editing process and add captions to your video. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but I want to go over something you'll see that can be a little confusing. It's what captions to use. Now, this is a screenshot of the pull-down menu that will open when you want to have access to your captions. So the first two options, CEA 608 and CEA 708, are the standard captions used. 608 is the older version, which is usually used for television, and 708 is the newer version of captions that are used in a digital format. So you'll see those on YouTube and whatnot. So then you'll have teletext, open subtitling, Australian, and open caption. So teletext is the same as CEA 608 and CEA 708. They are closed captions, meaning you can turn them on or off, while open subtitling and open captions are for videos that you burn your captions onto. And the Australian version is for their own system of captioning, or their own formatting of captioning. I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro, the latest edition, so Adobe Premiere Pro 2020. Now that I've opened up the project I want to work in, and I've uploaded the media I want to caption, I'm going to go down to new item. It kind of looks like a sticky note folded a little bit. It's right next to your create a new bin folder, as we've talked about in previous videos. I'm just going to click on that. You'll see this pop down menu or pop up menu. You're going to click on captions, and that menu that I showed you in our last clip will show up. Now, personally, I burn my captions into the video, so I find that the easiest way to deal with captioning, but you can also export your captions if you'd like. So I'm just going to go down to open captions. Actually, no, open subtitles. Click on that. I'm going to label this intro because this is my intro clip I want to caption here. I'm also going to create a new bin, call it captions. That way everything's nice and organized. Now, like all your media in Premiere Pro, you're going to drag it over to your timeline here. And so my intro clip is only like 13 seconds or something like that. And so I'm going to drag this little purple bar here, like I just did, and I will have space here for my captions. This black bar here that I just shrank is where your words are going to go. And so as you can see, this is what my captions will look like in the finished video, right? They'll be right below me, right around here. So I'm just going to click on intro. There you go. And in here you can underline the text, make it more centered, align right, align left. I'm going to keep it aligned left. But if there's music playing, you can have, you know, a music symbol, music note. You can also change the color of the font if you like. So here we go. So, pretty simple start. Hi. And when you type, it'll show up right there. if you click the plus button right after the caption you write, it will appear down here, and this will be your second caption. You can fit about 4 words in the caption. Today we're going to talk about... Okay, so it is. Today, going to talk about, so 4 or 5 words is what you'll usually be able to fit in these boxes. You're not going to be able to fit complete sentences into these boxes. So today we're going to talk about some of the landmark court cases. And just to give you an idea of what the text looks like, a little clearer because we're so zoomed out. But if I zoomed in, this is what your viewer is going to see. This is the font size and the black background. But I could change the font if I wanted to, say, red. Now it's red. Now it's blue. But I want it to be white. But you get the picture, right? I'm going to move on to the next one, and it's important to point out that I have some images in this this part, and I have them overlaid on my video. Now I point this out because it's important to know where you're going to put your captions. If I wanted to put my captions in this part of the video, which I want to do, I'm going to have to put them on top of my images here in this section. Because if I put them on the bottom, most likely this photo I have right here is going to obscure the photo because it's going to be on top of my captions. And so my captions are going to be behind it. So for example, let's just put that there for a minute. I'm going to go to captions. It's already selected on the formatting we want. I'm going to title this amendment because that's what I'm talking about in this clip here. And so depending on what I'm saying here, depending on the length of this clip here, so religion in public school. So this clip right here with the 2 images in public school. So it's kind of hard to see, but we can zoom in, right? Since my captions are on the bottom and the photos are on top, the last bit here is going to be obscured if I have any more words to add to it. So I'm going to move them just over here for a second and bring down my photos, put the captions on top. So now the captions are more fitted on top of the photos, which is what you want them to start, but I want them to go all the way, say, to this point in the video here. So now I can go in and break it up some, and my captions will fit the words. So I'm going to jump to a clip where I've done that because this process is tedious, typing in your captions, which is why I recommend having a script when you record your video. So when you're putting captions, if you want on, you'll have a guide. And so you can almost just copy and paste your script into your video, into the captioning boxes we have created here. With some editing magic, all my subtitles are done. So when you're done inputting, typing in, all your captions, it should look something like this. So before we can talk about religion in public school, we have to talk about the constitutional foundation for the separation of church and state and religious freedom in the United States. And the way the captions are set up for this video, I like, and they look perfect to me. There were no photos over top of any of my captions like I talked about previously, because remember, if say this photo was on top, schools right here is cut off completely. So that's why you're gonna want to have your captions on top of any images. So it's overlaid on top of the video and over top of your images. But now I'm done. So I'm gonna go to File, Export, Export Media. I'm going to change the name here to I'm going to have it in the format of H.264, and I picked that because it is the best format for uploading it to my YouTube channel. And I don't know why it changed, but I'm going to change it there. There we go. So, as you can see, my captions in this media browser to the left is displaying my captions. And this is your last review process here. And so I'm going to go to Captions. These are open subtitles or open captions. And so I'm going to say burn into the video. But say I wanted to have them as a separate file for the CEA 608 or 708, I would pick the sidecar file or create sidecar tab. And it gives you these options here. Subrip, subtitles format. SRT is the one I would personally use because you can then upload that file directly to YouTube while you're uploading your video, and your viewers can decide if they want to have your subtitles. But it also does not change the style that you pick. But since I said create a sidecar, as you can see in the media browser, my subtitles are no longer there because now they're going to be in another file when I finish exporting. But I personally find it easier just to burn the captions on to the video. So everything's the way I want it to be. And so I'm going to click Export. And depending on how big your video is, depends on how long it will export. And the same goes for your captions. Finished project.
Hi. Today we're going to talk about some of the landmark court cases that are at the heart of the debate over religion in public school in the United States.
Skip ahead to the captions.
Talk about religion in public school. We have to talk about the constitutional foundation for the separation of church and state and religious freedom in the United States.
And that's what your captions will look like when you're done. And that's how you put captions or subtitles on a video using Premiere Pro. Thanks for watching, and roll Tide!